Bosh, bosh.
Bosh.
Squeeze the neck. You know where we are. The only place to be. Oh, this is out. This was covered before. Great Britain top team, so everyone knows. My new mate, Erasmus Greenwood. Bosh. Thanks for doing this, bro. And you actually reached out for me for this one, which is good.
Sir.
Almost makes me important, doesn't it? But
yeah, more important than me, bro.
Nah, about that. We've met a bunch of times, haven't we, here? So I say my new mate loosely. But as I say, mate, thanks for doing this. MMA fighter, you're about 7'4". So
about that.
What weight do you fight at, mate?
Middleweight now. Used to be welterweight, but I thought, fuck it.
Welterweight?
Yes,
How much do you walk around at?
Now, like 95.
Right, okay.
I mean, 206.
For the American viewers.
kg. No, kg.
Oh,
kg.
Yeah. You're a proper
kilos.
Hulk and like cross with the thing.
Yeah, I just cut a lot of weight.
And your mum was the thing.
Yeah. That's about right.
There we go. So, how'd you get into fighting, mate? Because before I asked you that, I've heard on good authority this is going to be a good episode because you're an interesting character.
Bro, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what we do around here. So, where are you from originally, mate, and how'd you get into fighting?
So, I'm from Bedfordshire. Okay. Shout out to Bedfordshire Massive.
Okay,
come on.
Very good.
Started fighting mainly because I was one of them weird kids, you know, like MMA fighters usually fall into different categories. You got like kids that got bullied. Just like aggressive street fighters, and then slightly spectrum-y kids that watch too much anime, and that would be myself. So yeah, grew up watching anime before like the cognitive ability kicks in to clock like, this ain't real.
Gotcha.
So as a kid, if you had to ask me, so what do you want to be when you're older? Ninja. Easy, bruv.
Easy answer. Don't ask me stupid questions.
Yeah. Come on. So yeah, just got to about 19. I remember I went over to Uganda for like 3 months. I was just over there kicking about, just being a gangster and stuff.
As you do.
As you do. No, but no drug trafficking, just in case the police are watching.
Right.
Yeah, nothing like that, bruv. And I watched Anthony Joshua. I think it was Joseph Parker. I just thought like he's pretty hard, but I'm probably at least 18 times harder. And then I thought boxing's a bit gay. Hang on. And by gay, I mean like the original meaning happy. I'm not homophobic at all. But yeah, boxing's a bit wet. So we just do MMA instead, bruv. Like, you can't say that you're a fighter if all you do is, you know what I mean?
With limited skills, yep. I got you. Well, it's interesting you say that because my background was boxing before I found other martial arts. I was of the belief of, I'm a boxer, I don't need any of that other shit. You can't touch me with any of that. You wouldn't be able to take me down, but then you live and learn.
Yeah, now you go to Jiu Jitsu.
Now I'm a dirty grappler like the rest of them. So that's what we do. But you said you was 19 when Anthony Joshua fought Joseph Parker.
Yeah, I think so.
Bam. So that makes me feel old, man, because I was probably...
I feel old.
I would have been probably the age you are now when that happened. So for context, I think we spoke off camera. How old are you? 26?
26, brother.
And you said you're feeling old, which... Don't offend me, bro.
Sorry. Feeling young, feeling fresh.
But you know what's really funny is because when I turn this camera on, suddenly I'm 21. So there you go.
Yeah. It brings.
Is what it is, you know.
You're aging well, bro. You're aging well. Me, exactly. Bro. I keep getting told that I look 30, bruv.
Nah, you look good, man. Listen, anyone that's anywhere between the age of 25 and 35. Open for debate, innit? You can go whatever.
I tell myself that they're saying I look mature and distinguished.
There you go. You look clever, you look intelligent. But you got no cauliflower ear from where I'm sitting, right?
No, I don't. I've got a little bit of a like rigidness going on here, but it pisses me off because I'm the only person on earth that wants cauliflower ear.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
okay.
mean? Like I've been waiting for it.
You think you do until you get it because I was about. I think I'd grappled for about 7 years and then just suddenly one day it got on me for no reason. I was like you and like, you know, bro science in the gym, you just got floppy ears, you'll be all right. But suddenly it crept up on me and it's not a fun experience. But for anyone getting cauliflower ear, not that I'm the expert, but leave it alone, don't train it.
Yeah.
That's a whole other headache, but we'll get to that later. You was MMA from the jump, you said?
MMA from the jump,
Where did you start? Because Bedfordshire's where from here, how far?
So it's just north. So Hertfordshire is right next to Bedfordshire. Hertfordshire is the county that borders North London. Right. So literally just north of North London. Luton. Everyone knows Luton.
Yeah, right.
Luton's in Bedfordshire.
I got you.
No one knows Bedfordshire.
But how'd you end up in South London?
So my girlfriend lives down here. So just over a year ago, it was the October, I'm born in October, so it was the October after my 25th birthday. I moved on down here, I looked at some other gyms around here. I won't name them because I don't have the best opinions on them, so I'd rather not start a dojo war, you know what I mean? Although I'm up for it.
We could, because we might get some views. So
actually, so I went down to New Wave, and don't get me wrong, there's some nice guys there, a good coach, Tom something, that I liked, but I just thought, bruv, like, why am I going to train at potentially the second best team when GB top team, best team in the universe, might as well come here. I knew Luke Trainer before, like not knew, it's not like we were best mates, but knew of him. He'd come to my old gym, so I started at Full Submission. Jamie Richardson and Ollie Sawa, who are both in Cage Warriors now, they came out of that team as well. So I started there. I knew of Luke because he come through to Force a couple times, so I just messaged him. I'm like, because I knew that he was training in South London now, didn't know where. He said GBTT. I came down here, was incredibly unprepared for the level. First night, luckily, I came down to a wrestling class here, one of the evening sessions. There weren't too many big boys, so I managed to speak to Brad on the way out. I was just like, look, is there any chance I could come to the morning sessions? He asked me like, do you want to compete? I said, yeah. He says, do you mind drowning? I said, no. And yeah, I drowned for like a good 4 months until I could even just survive. And then, yeah, been loving it ever since, bro.
But to stick it out, that's hard, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? To jump into a team like this, because for anyone who doesn't know, GB top team, like, hey,
you should know.
There's some serious people on the mats here, on any given day. So, like, for you to come in and like, well, let's go back a step actually from that. Like, you said you started in Bedfordshire. Like, where did you start and what was that like?
So, Full Submission, shout out, still got a lot of love. Darren Jones, Daz Jones, head coach, and as I say, Jamie Richardson, Cage Warriors veteran, very, very good fighter. Like, still to this day, one of the best guys I've ever trained with. Yeah, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, got a bit unlucky on that front, but yeah, started up there. So I was very blessed to have a very good welterweight. Andy's competed at middleweight as well, but a very good guy to learn from off the very bat. I still had many spastic tendencies that I've carried over to this day. I'm just, as I say, all like slightly spectrumy.
But there's an element of that helps, I think, right? You don't want to train it out of you too much because, like, some of what can make you great is your own uniqueness, right? 100%. And like, how many times have you seen people, because I certainly have, where they almost get what makes them unique, if you like, for lack of a better word, they get it trained out of them. Yeah. And they overdo the sort of 1-2 right hand double leg takedown, and you go like, that's all well and good, but not everyone's meant to be meat and potatoes, are they? And obviously your body type is pretty unique as well.
Strange,
for the people you fight. How tall are you?
Just under 6'6".
I was going to say 6'6" is what I would have guessed when I saw it. Like that. That's a big guy for middle, and like you was fighting a welterweight originally. Yeah. That's a big guy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like there's not many people that you're gonna, or even close to your height, I would imagine, right? Yeah,
there's one guy I know of, Eddie. He's a fucking giant, bruv. So I met him at a Jiu Jitsu comp recently at Grappling Industries, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy, bruv? And then he tells me he fights a middleweight. I'm thinking, fuck's sake, like, allow it, bro. Being lanky is my thing, bruv. He's like 6'8" or something. But other than that,
he's even taller.
Oh yeah. Fucking
shout out Big Ed, whoever you are.
Giant guy. Yes, but other than that, bro, I don't know of anybody. I might meet somebody my height or around it, but yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
No, it's rare, isn't it? It's going to be rare.
Out spastic them, bruv.
Well, to be fair, you're taller than most heavyweights anyway, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Probably stronger as well.
Is that right? Fair.
Yeah.
So if any heavyweights want it, my boy will deal with you.
Yeah.
As and when you need it.
Aspinall, call me up, bro. Yeah. I need I know you need that John Jones camp. I'm the man. way better than John
So we're
Jones.
saying if John Jones is too chicken, you'll sort him out and you'll
Yeah,
handle business.
100%, bro. Like, I'll just put on a fucking mask.
There you go.
I mean,
Bosh. With John Jones up and you're
am I allowed to do blackface? Like, I'm already halfway there.
I was going to say, you've got a better chance than I have.
Yeah. You're definitely not allowed.
I can't do it, for
not
sure.
in 2025, yeah. Fuck, where were we, bruv?
Well, let's go to when you started fighting. Because how quick did you start fighting? Well, that's what we do on here, man. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We might have to rename this the Spectrum Podcast anyway.
Oh, bro. Especially when I'm on it. Yeah. The Spectrum episode. But, fuck. So it actually took me a long time, bro. So I started when I was 19, 20.
And sorry to cut you off just before you answer. Like, was your plan straight away to be a fighter? It wasn't just a training thing. I'm here to fight.
Yeah. From day one, I knew that I wanted to fight.
Right.
As I say, I was out in Uganda. I saw the Anthony Joshua fight. I thought, like, yeah, I want to fight. I remember it's really cliche and, to use the word again, a bit gay. But I started getting into like David Goggins. I didn't read because reading's fucking neeks.
Reading's for the clever people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Leave that to the clever people.
Not even clever, bro. How clever is it to waste your time fucking... Just go for a run, bro. Do some press-ups.
I was going to say, you're asking the wrong guy. I was literally going to say I'd rather go for a run.
Yeah, and then you can listen to an audio book, bro. Do something else, right? Anyway, I listened to
They got podcasts for that now, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly,
and subscribe.
Bro. That's it, bro. Like, this is... Bro, way more information
You'll
than you're
learn
ever
more
gonna
from
get in a
this
book.
than you will from anything Shakespeare ever written.
100%,
You can have
bro.
that as a quote.
Shakespeare's a fucking idiot, bro.
Well, I won't go that far.
You ever seen the theory that he was a woman?
I've heard it with other people. There was a certain king of England that they thought was a woman.
Bro, this is just the LGBTQ, like trying to press it on to, like, oh no, Shakespeare was a woman. King Arthur next. You know, it was King Alice, bruv. Sorry, derailing again. Fuck, where were we?
When I asked you if you was going to fight straight away,
yes.
You said the Anthony Joshua, Joe Parker.
Yeah, I decided from the bat I wanted to fight, but it took me a while because then COVID hit.
Right, of course.
That derailed it. Oh, sorry, now we've definitely...
But there's a bit of a gap between that, right? Because I think Joshua and them fought sort of 2016, if I'm not wrong.
So I'm training till about 21, 22.
Right.
COVID hits.
And when you say 21, 22, you're talking about your age.
Yeah, my age. Yeah, not the year. So COVID hits. I had some personal stuff go on as well. That meant I took about a year and a half break. That was it. So the way I really decided on fighting was I went down the David Goggins like little spiral. I'm so lucky that Andrew Tate weren't kicking about because he would have got to me, bruv. But yeah, I'm listening to Born to Run. I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Okay.
You know, I can do that, bruv. I go out for my first round, I'm thinking, fuck, I can't do that. I'm a big smoker at this point. Like, I was very unhealthy, just unhealthy lifestyle in general. So I go for a run one day, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to become an MMA fighter. You know when people talk about epiphanies?
Right.
I think that's a bit of a fucking fallacy. It's just a thought.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just a thought that you've decided, you've put importance onto.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it come to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to be an MMA fighter. So as I say, I'm training till about 21, 22. COVID hits. There's, as I say, some complications in my personal life. So I took about a year and a half break. I kind of gave up on myself. I thought like, nah, like not, you know, I'm not doing it now. Like it's not.
When you say gave up on yourself, do you mean in an MMA sense or just in life?
In life, but definitely in an MMA sense. Like I was just very, I was just, I'd made so much progress. Like in school, I was always the chubby kid. Like I was athletic when I was in lower school. Like I was the fastest kid for a bit. And then as I grew up, I got chubby. Played a bit of rugby. I was all right at rugby, but I was never like a star athlete or nothing like that. And then so I start training MMA. Suddenly all the puppy fat goes. Like I'm in good shape. I'm the way I want to be. And then to have that all go away, like I became fat again. I was like over 100 kilos, bruv. Mm-hmm. Obviously I'm 206 now, as I said earlier. So got a bit bigger since then. But yeah, to have it all go and to realise, like, I thought to myself before the break, like, yeah, this is it now. This is my life. This is who I am. I prided myself on my physicality. Like that's all I have. I've got about 6 brain cells kicking about. But yeah, I prided myself on that. So then to have that all taken away, it's like, rah, like, what do I do now? Like, I've only got my GCSEs. You know, I'm not a learned man. I'm no scholar. And then it kind of, it felt like it was an impossible task. You know what I mean? To be at the bottom of the hill again, and you've just climbed it, and it was hard the first time around. So now I'm thinking, fuck, now I'm starting later, and like, got to regain all that ground just to then progress from where I was. Yeah, it was like, it seemed insurmountable. But then I thought, stop being a fucking pussy. Literally, like, I was so depressed and so down, and the only like running theme I could see is, well, I'm not doing MMA now. I was happy then. I'm not happy now. Do MMA again. And from there, like, if you had asked me when I was 19, 20, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be the best in the world. Now, I certainly want to be, I want to be as good as I can be. And I think that version of myself is one of the best in the world for sure. But it's about mental health. It's about supporting my family. Like I always say to some of the guys here, and they think I'm crazy. Would I rather be like a guy on the come up in the top 10 or something, or top 5, or a champion, or Kevin Holland? I'm picking Kevin Holland all day, bruv. He's just staying active, making a load of money, supporting his family. By the way, Kevin Holland, if you're watching this isn't me like, I dislike Kevin Holland. I think he's a wallad, bruv. When he goes on the Rampage podcast and he's just talking about, oh, you don't know what a gun is, so you're not a man. I think you're a pussy, old bruv. Kevin Holland, if you want it, bro, let's get it. Honestly, bro. Any weight class, bro. Let's bulk to heavyweight, bruv. Obviously, I'm 206, so I'd have to come down a bit. But yeah, would I rather be a money man and support my family and have a happy life, or chase this material object to wrap around my waist? I'm definitely going for the former. So since I came back, it's just been about, this is what I need in my life. I truly believe I was born to fight. I've never done no other job and thought, like, oh yeah, like, I quite like this, or I could do it. I've worked so many jobs, bruv. I've done not everything, but close to, you know. And it just felt like fucking meaningless doggy paddling, you know what I mean? You're just fucking keeping your head above water. Here, I very much believe that humans are like hamsters. We need to be on the hamster wheel. We need to feel some sort of progression. Well, I don't know. I can only speak for myself, right? But I certainly am a hamster on the hamster wheel. And when you're just doing these jobs and there's no real forwards, there's no real progression in sight, and it all felt so meaningless, this gives my life meaning. As stupid as it is, getting punched in the head and punching someone back in the head, and like, you know, going from getting smashed on bottom to now I'm surviving, to now I'm scrambling, to now I'm the one on top smashing. It gives my life purpose. And so, as I say, since I came back, I realised that mental health is the most valuable thing we have. Like a good state of mind, happiness, bro. You can't buy it. I know it's cliche to say, but it's genuinely true. You can't buy it. There's no like fast track to it. It takes effort. It takes work. There's some days, especially when I started here, brother, I used to cry on the way to training and on the way back when Trezor's kicking about, brother. I don't know if you've seen or met Trezor.
No, who's Trezor?
Oh, fucking hell. Who isn't Trezor, bro? That's a better question.
Okay.
Like, he is one of the scariest men on the planet.
What's Trezor's full name? Or is he just Trezor to everyone?
I know how to spell his second name, but he's from Congo. So it's like, if I pronounce it, I'm just going to offend him. Right. Then I'm going to get beaten up next time I see him.
We'll put us in touch with Trezor and we'll have
Trezor on the pod.
We'll have Trezor on the pod.
It will be you'll get no views on it because everyone will watch for about 10 seconds and be too terrified, bro.
Is that right? He's a scary guy.
Oh, fucking intimidating.
What weight does Big Trezor fight at?
He says he anywhere between 84 and 77.
Oh,
but
right,
bro,
okay.
when I look at him, I've never understood how this man can make 77.
He's a big lump, is he?
Ah, bro, he's very Congolese. Like that's the best way I can put it. But yeah, like when he was kicking about, you know, we used to have Sim, Luke Trainer, Simeon Pal, here on a daily basis, bro. I'm just coming here to get smashed. You know, I'm crying on the way to training. I'm crying on the way back. But you know what? On the other side of it, there's happiness. You know what I mean?
You're also showing up for them sessions.
Oh, 100%. I love it, bro. Sim, come back.
Yeah.
Luke, come back. Well, I think Luke's dealing with a little, I don't know. I don't know what's going on for Luke, so I won't speak on it. Not my business. But yeah, I loved it, bro. Like I genuinely miss having those guys around. I used to pride myself on going with the bigger boys and just always grinding it out, man. I think that's what this sport is about. Like I very much taken on the philosophy. I feel like I started with something and now I'm just fucking, but I'm just gonna go with it. Just gonna ride the wave.
Just go.
But yeah, I've taken on the philosophy of our coaches here. Shout out Brad Pickett, shout out Ashley Grimshaw, and Mike Ekendeo. Can't forget Mike. But yeah, just grind, bro. Like it's not an intellectual sport, bro. It's not, you know, I think a lot, don't get me wrong, there is aspects to it that are very intellectual, but also the growth comes from hardship in this sport, very much so. It's not like, you know, there's S&C, there's, you know, you've got to do your cardio and stuff. But really, if you just fucking go hard on the mats, you know, I used to be a guy where I think like, I'll just put in 70% effort on the mats, and then it will come out of me when I fight. You fight how you train. So if you're giving 70% there, like I remember my first fight, I was just completely unprepared for what an MMA fight was, and it was no fault on my coaches, it was no fault on my team, it was my fault for not. Bro, I literally remember thinking to myself, he comes out, like, I'm thinking, fucking hell, why is he punching me so hard? I'm like,
He means it, this guy.
Yeah. I'm like, fucking hell, he's fighting for his life, bro. I'm here like just chilling, bro. Come out like I'm walking out to a picnic. And yeah, it weren't a picnic. All I ate was fucking big punches, bro. Big black man, bro. Just swinging at me, bro. But yeah, like I say, taking on the philosophy of the coaches here, I think that is what separates our team from a lot of the others. Especially, there are other good gyms in this country, don't get me wrong, but I think we're one of the best because our coaches, they won't accept us half-assing it, bro. If you're half-assing it, they're gonna call you out, and they're gonna call you out quick. You know, whenever I've got Ashes or Brad's eyes on me, I just feel that extra, like, fucking hell, like.
Do you feel that pressure, that almost like your dad's watching you?
100%, bro. And it's important to be that way. It's important to respect your coaches and have that level of like, oh fuck, like I don't want to disappoint them. And yeah, I can't speak for the other fighters here, but I think we all feel the same way. You know, we don't want to disappoint our coaches, and certainly, like, you know, everybody loses. Well, not everybody, but like, you know, losses happen. But did you lose and give literally 100%, or did you kind of quit? Did you half-ass it? Did you go through camp just kind of treading water? Those are the differences. I don't think anyone gets blamed for literally being willing to bleed out there, giving everything in camp, and still not getting the victory. But if you're not doing everything within your power, yeah, the coaches here will let you know about it, and that's the difference. I said before in like a little leapfrog. I'm not going to burn any bridges today. But yeah, I I said before, like it's a fighter's made outside the gym. Everyone turns up to the sessions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
Everyone turns up. We're all on the mat, bruv. It's what you're doing out there. You know, are you going out on the weekend partying, or are you resting, stretching, and recovering? Like that's where the difference is made. Don't really know where I was going with that.
But it makes sense, man. It makes sense. I had a chat yesterday with Kieran Echalo. Shout out Kieran, the boxing life coach. But we went on loads of different tangents, and we had very similar views on a lot of things and mentality of fighting and stuff. Very similar, but we worded things a little bit different. We called each other on certain things, etc. But I think there's a certain way that, for lack of a better term, how the warrior carries himself, which was kind of what we was going on about. If you're in it, you can train as hard as you like, but if Friday night comes and you're out in the nightclubs and whatever, you're not doing it right, are you? Do you know what I mean? And that'll come back and bite you. And I think, from my own experience of training hard, the more you train hard, the more that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
There comes a point where it's like you're not interested. I don't want to say it's not a sacrifice, but it doesn't feel like a sacrifice because you don't want to be doing anything else. All you want to do is this, right? And you know yourself, you've gone in there, you've had a hard fight, and you've gone, geez, this guy means it. Like,
Yeah.
no one can teach you that until you've experienced it, right? Which goes round to, like, you told me before, bring up like your KSIs and Jake Pauls. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But like, there's you can't people's opinions that have never got in there. They're irrelevant because they don't know. And someone said it to me once, and I've mentioned it on here before. Like, you could have seen all the swimming races in the world. If you've never jumped in a swimming pool, you don't really know what's going on.
Trust
and it's
me.
the same in this, right?
Yeah. You sink fast, bro.
There you go. You think you know what you're seeing, but you don't. When you're in there, it's different. And
100%.
aside from any of that, which we'll come to as well, is like how you are beforehand, because different people have got different styles of like how they are fight night before. Some people, we all know them, some people are sitting there and almost meditating. Some people are pacing. Some people are, don't touch me, don't come near me. Everyone's scared is the thing, right? Everyone feels the same. And I think it was Customato said about the hero and the coward. You familiar with this one? So how the hero and the coward both feel the same. It's what the hero does and what the coward doesn't do that define them as hero and coward. And it's like when you hear something like that, it's like, it's true, isn't it? Everyone's scared. It don't, it's not about not being scared. It's how you act in that moment. But before we get too philosophical, which we will do at some point.
We will do. Not a philosophical sport.
We will do. You told me to bring up KSI and Jake.
Bro.
Go, ball's yours.
Bro, I just think, you know what, Jake Paul, I actually have like a small amount of respect for because he's thrown himself into the sport. But KSI's a pussy-hole, bruv, 100%. Like, I see him training down at London Shoot Fighters. I don't know why they even fucking let him in the door, bro. I just think, you know, stick to your little sidemen football matches. But this sport is so aggravating to watch guys that literally have grinded since teenagers sometimes, who have put their health, their body on the line to be overshadowed, to be on the undercard as some dickhead that sat in front of a computer screen screaming his whole life, bruv. I just think if you respected the sport and actually loved it like he says he does, you know, put people on. You got a lot of money, you got a platform, and I guess in some regards he is doing that, but he's doing it for like YouTubers, and I just think I don't have the biggest love for boxing. I'm not like a boxing fan. I spend most of my time on the internet arguing with boxers, to be honest, bruv. It's like I always see like, oh, boxer could beat an MMA fighter in a street fight. Yeah, fucking, maybe while you're unconscious on the ground, like in your dream, fucking, oh yeah, I fucking got him.
As someone who started their combat as a boxer, me, and had that exact mentality, as time goes on and you start to get into things, it ain't true.
Like a blast double leg is, you know, it's fucking, it's gonna do some damage on concrete, innit? But yeah, man, I just think he's a well lad. You know, all these guys, bro. First off, like, I'm not gonna go too deep down the conspiracy, but they've all sold their souls, 100%. However you define selling your soul, if you actually think like, Satan rises up from the earth and there's all flames and stuff, and he's like, oh, I'll sign this contract. Or it's just like the way I view it is if you give up your moral compass for money, and maybe these guys never had a moral compass, but like you look at Prime, this stupid. No, I've said it, bro. People are gonna go fucking buy it now. This is how stupid people are, bro. Oh, fucking, I need that. But they're just selling chemicals to kids, bruv. Yep. And I just think, you're pussy-ass, all of you, bruv. And I wish one of them would actually like step in an MMA cage.
I agree with what you said about selling your soul. I think that's what I said on the podcast with Kieran. I think that's exactly what. But it's like dishonouring yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I went an extreme example, but like we won't mention her name. I brought her up before, but I didn't mention her name then either. But there's a certain someone online who's like sleeping with loads of men and making money out of it. You know what I'm talking about, right? We won't mention her name. I think so. But that stuff to me is like, where's the line? Yeah. It was my point. It was like likening it to that. It's like if you sell out for that, like, what would you sell out for? To me, it's like, the honour should count, right? You're getting in there. And my thing, where I put a line between sort of Jake Paul and KSI, is Jake Paul, you can make your own mind up and he's doing certain things, but he's fighting, right? And I think he can box a bit. Whereas KSI is like what I said yesterday. It's like, I look at that and I feel like he's fighting people that can't fight, and he believes that he can fight, and he's fooling people that he can. That's where it rubs me wrong.
100%.
Like, I go, I'd have more respect for you if you got in there with a real fighter and got your ass beat.
Yeah,
you're
literally.
in there. You know, no one's got nothing to say. You get in there. I don't care how the fight goes. You know what I mean? Unless you quit. Do you know what I mean? It's like you do what you got to do. But it rubs me wrong. And like with likening it to, this will come out after, but Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn Jr. Right? There's a big thing with the dads. I don't know if you're familiar with the Eubank Senior. Have you seen the interviews and stuff?
Bro. I tried to stay as far away from that, but obviously I know the legacy of the fight.
Yeah, but we won't have to get too deep into it. But it's like more Eubank Senior stands on his, whatever you'd call it, honour, moral compass, warrior code, and to the end. Yeah. And I think like that shouldn't go away. Do you know what I mean? I like the fight. I don't necessarily agree with him on certain aspects, but the other stuff he talks to about how a warrior should carry himself, I agree with, and I think that should never go away in fighting. I think that should always be held in the highest of esteems. Because otherwise, what does it come? You just get people that can't fight, and that brings the whole sport down. You know what I mean?
100%.
Someone like yourself, you said, well, I won't speak for you, you will, but it's like you're here, and this is you, right? This is what you do. And like, I'm assuming you're an amateur fighter at the moment, right?
Yes, sir.
But I'm assuming from speaking to you for how long we've been going so far, you're looking at going pro, and this is who you are and what you do. Oh, it is? Yeah.
Soon.
Is there plans? There's something you can speak about, or is it hush-hush?
No, there's no plans, but, you know, being here, do the right stuff, do the right work. Obviously, fighting 25th of May, you know, planning to...
Great. This will come out just before that. So
yeah. Okay, lovely.
This will be perfect.
Yeah. So he won't see it too soon, but yeah, I'm planning to put on my best performance yet against a good fighter.
Where's the fight and who are you fighting?
Kent, a guy I won't even name him, bro. He's just part of the journey. And you know, one big thing I had to get over was this idea of you can't lose. You know, you can. And then I kind of circled back around, like I had to get over my fear of losing, but then also keep that fear of losing. I never want to not be afraid of losing. Right. That's the main thing to me. I'm not afraid of getting hurt. I'm not afraid of, going out on my shield. I'm not afraid of none of that. I'm afraid of losing. And I always want to keep that fear, because that's what fucking motivates me, bruv. When I'm on a run and I'm thinking, this guy's looking to beat me. He's looking to take my O. He's looking to prove, he's looking to put it down in history that he was better than Erasmus Greenwood. That, I can't allow that, bruv. So that motivates me, but also not being too like, it's amateur. Mm-hmm. So your amateur record don't actually matter. Mm-hmm. You know, for any young MMA fighters out there just coming up the ranks, your amateur record doesn't matter. We've got guys in here who took amateur losses and now they're undefeated pro. That's what matters. So kind of getting over it in a sense of it's limiting, it's causing me fear. the fear of losing has to go, but you still have to hate the idea of losing. So getting to that point has been very important for me. So I feel like I'm going into this fight with the best possible mindset. It was rescheduled. I was supposed to fight him in February. It got called off. So then coming back around, I was confident for that one. Now I'm more confident than ever. He's been talking a bit. His supporters talk a bit. It's his home show. I love it, bro. I would much rather fight on the enemy soil, bro. Like having my mum and dad there, that's way more pressure. I don't care about these dickheads. Boo all you like, bruv. Literally, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to stop me. When that cage door closes, bruv, all your fans go out the equation, bruv. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. As I say, it's a proven fighter. All of my fights thus far, all three of them, have been against debutants. So I certainly think they've been good guys, but they're unproven. And then my first opponent's never fought again. My second opponent hasn't fought since. And my third opponent, fucking hell, bruv, like he just, I don't know why he was fighting. He said to me after he does it for like personal development, I think, fucking hell, like...
Maybe go and play tennis or something.
Yeah, like there's like grapple or...
I was going to say, do jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Don't get brain damage for personal development. Like, that's not... I've always thought that's
wrong sport, isn't it? I think it's too dangerous.
100%.
If you're not into it, and I know everyone says it, and it's almost cliche, isn't it? But if you're not 100% in this, don't bother.
100%.
This is not the sport to be doing that.
Because when you're on the mat with a guy who is 100% and he's training like his life depends on it, and you catch that one head kick that he just throws a little bit too hard, bruv, it's your life that changes.
Well, God forbid you turn up on fight night in that situation.
Yeah.
Right? And you got someone like you the other side of the cage who's
Literally.
like, this is me. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And you're here for personal development.
Yeah. It wasn't an entertaining fight, to be fair, against him. I beat him every single round.
Right.
There was but I just wrestled him against the cage. I'd fought 2 weeks before. Just done.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So my last two fights were within 2 weeks of each other.
And what was that? Just come fresh out of one and just thought, fuck it, I'll jump into another one?
Yeah, literally. So I was lucky enough in the first fight to get a round one stoppage. So yeah, boom. I think, fucking hell, this worked out perfectly. To be honest, I only booked the second fight just because it was local to my end, so a couple of my guys could come through to it, see me fight finally. And because I thought, it's a little shit show. I don't like him now because he tried to make me pay for my fight photos. I'm thinking, fucking hang on. It's me fighting, bruv. What do you mean pay for the fight photos? Suck your dad. He knows who he is. And I would say if he's watching, but I'm just going to send it to him. I'm just going to send this clip, bro. Suck your dad. But yeah, it's just a little shit show. So why not, bruv? If the fight before didn't go so well or whatever, I would have just pulled out of it. I would have just said, I thought, yeah, fuck it, like activity, just book it. It went well, you know. Yeah, went well. We went and got the second victory, bro. Like an amateur, that's all I really care about.
2 wins in 2 weeks, huh?
Exactly.
Was the weight a concern? Because as we said, like you're a big guy. I'm assuming that's probably more of a concern than the fight itself, isn't it, for you on short notice? No.
Nah, easy. Yeah, the first fight was at 90. The second fight was at 80.
80?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it was, but bro, I'm gonna make weight.
Yeah.
You know, I've made 77 before. I'm gonna make weight.
Well, it's interesting. I saw a clip today of Khabib talk. I don't know if you've seen this when he's getting ready for a fight and he's sweating. He looks, you know, and it's like clips of him and Islam and a few others on his team and whatnot. But he's sort of talking over it, saying like, you have to do this. You have to do it. First fight is with yourself. Second fight is with your opponent.
100%.
And like for anyone who hasn't cut weight, like that drying out process is awful feeling. Isn't it? Like, you question a lot of things during that time, don't you?
100%. The diet, like not only are you dieting whilst training harder than ever, you're dieting down. But then fight week, like the cut is fucking horrific. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, I don't believe guys and they say, oh yeah, my cut's not too hard. You should be cutting more weight then, bruv. Like, if you're cutting, like, actually weight cutting, it's horrific, and it should be. And like you say, the first fight is with yourself. It's with your mind. But also, I just tell myself, bro, my opponent's going through the same thing. You know what I mean? So I do think weight cutting is the most retarded part of the sport. Like, it's all a bit retarded, really, innit? Punching and kicking each other in the head for no apparent reason. But weight cutting is stupid. Like, I really hope we do get to a point in the sport where it's just not a thing. Like, I think one championship have a rehydration rule. Like, they'll test how hydrated you are on the scales, and then how. I think that's way better.
I wonder if it works though, because like they're talking about people getting around it, and I think there was a show as well, and don't quote me on this, but there was like 9 people miss weight at 12 or something crazy, and it's like, but one championship is an interesting thing, like going away from the weight cutting slightly. Have you ever been to a one championship event? I've been to one out in the States, and it was like, it's cool, man, because it's not just an MMA show, right? You turn up and it's like on the board. The next fight coming out is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's a Muay Thai fight. Oh, you go, cool, this is cool. Next one's a grappling match. Next one's an MMA fight. And it's like all over the shop. And it's like, it's interesting to watch. And the reason I bring this up to you as an MMA fighter is, I've said this to other people as well, I kind of like that option. But at the same time, I feel like UFC should be the top show. Do you see where I'm coming from? Whereas all these other shows can compete with each other for sort of second place, if you like. Whereas when you've got the standalone that no one would argue with, I think that's when cream rises to the crop. Do you see where I'm coming from? If you've got too much competition between like first and
how do you know
second,
who's the best?
That's what I'm getting at, yeah. So it kind of like almost, it gets to a situation a little bit like boxing, where you've got 4 world champions in the same division.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Like, one true world champion is a nice thing, isn't it? Do you know?
Yeah.
To look at, say, well, it's a bit squirrely at the top now, but the heavyweight champion of the world, John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, the winner of that, there ain't going to be many people arguing that that's the best heavyweight.
100%. I think, I don't know, I'm in 2 minds, because I think the problem with the way it is now is that the UFC have complete control. They have complete power over the fighters, because like, literally, you know, if you want to go somewhere else, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have many options. You know, I think they got to treat the fight as well, and I think the UFC do for the most part. We've got a couple of UFC guys, and they seem very satisfied. So as long as the top promotion is treating the fight as well, I think that works. But it also allows for you know, some level of corruption, because everybody wants to be the best in this sport. Everybody wants to be in the UFC. You know, I don't hear many people saying, "Oh yeah, I want to go to Cage Warriors," or like all of these things, or "Oh, I want to go to Octagon." You know what I mean?
Yeah, end results UFC, innit?
Exactly. Everybody. That's the you know, everyone takes a different path, but the end point is always UFC. So as I say, it puts them in a position of power, which they can manipulate. But I think as long as they're not manipulating it, but you know, I think things will change. I think Dana White is probably going to step away from the UFC soon enough.
Do you think soon, do you? I mean, it's inevitable one day. He's not going to live forever. So at a certain point, he's gone, isn't he? But
I
you think
think
sooner
next
rather than
couple
later?
years.
Do you really? Oh, wow, okay.
Because the thing about him, you can see in him the same thing that fighters have. It's like a hunger and a want to prove people wrong. You know, you see how motivated he is in early UFC press conferences compared to now. I feel like he needs a challenge.
Right.
He's a person who needs to be like fighting against the odds. And now, like, you've done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's took on boxing now, isn't he? He's in.
Exactly.
He's gone to Saudi. And
he's got the
stuff
slap.
there. Yep, slap fight. I'll tell you what, I understand what you're saying. What I think we're more likely to see with him is him just be less there. He'll be more like a figurehead. I think he'll be at like, I don't know, what's there, 12 pay-per-views a year for the UFC, like the big ones. I think he'll be at them. I think he'll, you know, when he's about and there's a press conference and he's doing it, I think it'll be more of a bigger thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It'll be more like, oh shit, Dana showed up for this one. Because it's inevitable. You can't be, well, I mean, time's going on and age is not what it used to be in terms of like older people, but you you're not going to have him at 90 years old at 50 fights a year, are you? Because it's going to wear you out and you're going to lose the hunger. But I think as he gets older, I think he'll still be around in some capacity. And it'd be a shame to lose him, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
I think a big loss from the UFC would be people like him, Bruce Buffer.
Yeah,
Silly as it sounds, would be a big loss. Like when that voice
100%.
goes away, that's a major loss.
Iconic.
Iconic, yeah. Like when I was at the O2 once in London for a UFC fight. Brad was actually on the card. He won, beat Neil Siri.
Come on.
They had an English guy, and I'm not knocking the guy. I don't know who he was. He was doing the and I was like, "Fuck off! I want to see Bruce Buffer," you know. And I think they've changed that now, haven't they? They have him more often now on the big ones.
They need to, bro. Like he is. There's certain parts of the sport that are iconic. You know, it's I'm quite into WWE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it, bro. And,
still now today.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like it's not as good as it used to be. You know, I wish Undertaker was still kicking them out.
The last event I watched, I think it was Stone Cold versus The Rock. That's showing me age a bit, but I gave that shit up.
Yeah, that's a while ago. Yeah. But it's still to this day, because what I like, and I think a lot of MMA fighters could actually learn a bit from it, is the showmanship, the ability on the mic. And bruv, people say, "Oh, it's fake." It's fake. It's not fake. It's scripted. You can't fake somebody jumping from 10 feet in the air, doing a fucking front flip, and then landing on their back, bruv.
Like their body, I would, in some ways, I bet their bodies take more damage than a real fighter because, as you said, it's scripted, it's choreographed. They've got to take the bumps.
Yeah.
If me and you are fighting now, me and you are going to do our best. We're going to get hit, of course we are. We're going to hit each other, but I'm going to do my best to not get hit by you, and you vice versa. Whereas if we're doing a WWF match, I've got to let you jump off the top rope on me, you know?
100%, and I'm not going to throw you out the cage, fucking climb on top of it, fucking off the top of it, bro.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, like it'd be unlikely.
It'd be very unlikely.
If the fight's not going too well, maybe I'll try it.
Ref might want to up his game if I'm laying down for too long as well.
Yeah. But fucking yeah, bro. I just think. As I say, first off, it's not fake, it's scripted. There is a difference between the two. But then also, as I say, it's all the other bits. You know, sadly, we do live in an age where to be a successful fighter is not just based on your ability. And it's all the other bits that wrestlers do, you know, cutting promos, just the aura. Hate using that word, bro. That's such a TikTok word. But yeah, the aura that they give off. I think these things are also very important for MMA fighters. I think, as I say, could learn a lot from it.
It's interesting that. I think a lot of being sort of a personality in MMA is like being authentic, right?
Yeah.
I've said this on him before, so I'm repeating myself, whatever. But it's like, if you're Conor McGregor, like on the way up, and I know that's a cliche example, really, isn't it? Because he's the guy that sort of took it to another level in a way. But it's when he was doing it when he was young, it seemed like that's who he was. Like if you look at him later in life now, he almost feels like he's trying to fake it to be like what he used to be.
100%.
Well, I think we saw it a little bit with Ronda Rousey as well when she started losing.
Yeah.
When she was at the top, she was mean and nasty and said some things to people or whatever. But it seemed like it was real. If you watch her walk to the ring against, the one that sticks in my mind is the second one where she fought Amanda Nunes. The second fight she lost, against Amanda Nunes. She almost looked like she was walking to the cage, faking to be what she used to be. She was like putting on a front, and it's like, it ain't you anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you're not authentic, you get found out fast in that sport anyway, right? That's going to catch you.
And I think, to play devil's advocate, I would ask, what is authenticity in terms of personality? Because, like, a thing for me, and this has just been, like, even before MMA I was thinking about this, but like, these definitions that we put on ourselves about our personality, about who we are. Like I was very into Zen Buddhism. And so Zen Buddhism's about like detaching from labels. And so personality and who we are is a flowing river. You know what I mean? It's not static. So these people like Ronda Rousey and like Conor, they believe that this small aspect of their personality, maybe they are a bit vindictive, maybe they are a bit venomous, but that does not define all of them. So they get trapped in this little part of themselves, and then they feel like they have to constantly be tapping into that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, it flows, doesn't it? Like, I think a really good example of authenticity in the current UFC is John Silva, yeah? Fighting Nerds guy. John, is it John? It's like, I don't know, it's some pronunciation that my British brain can't wrap around. But Silva, the guy that just beat up our boy Bryce Mitchell.
Oh, sorry, right, I've got you. I know you're talking about. Sorry, I thought you meant a media guy, but yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, but Silva, 1 minute he's barking like a dog, then he's crying and like hugging his boys and stuff. Like he understands himself to the point where it's like he don't have to bark 24/7 and he don't have to cry 24/7. These are all aspects. They're all, to use the word again, a spectrum of emotions and characteristics that you can tap into as the moment arises. I think it's about being authentic to yourself in that moment.
Yeah, because like you said, mood plays a part, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like when I come in here today versus after I've been talking to you for however long I've been talking to you, versus if you weren't you and you was an arsehole and you're stressing me out, you're going to get a different response, aren't you? Do you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And that's not, I'm not being fake, or no one would be fake, but you're just going with the mood. And like, it would all right be me sitting here if you're annoying me and I'm going, hi, nice to meet you. It's not real, do you know what I mean? And I think that plays into it, especially at that level of, when we're talking about like Ronda Rousey's and Conor McGregor, that level of fame is a stress in itself, right?
100%.
That most people, well, 99.999% of people that have ever lived will experience, right? That level of stress and whatever. So that coupled with you trying to be fake, with you having to get ready for a fight, with you being tired, with you cutting, there's a lot going on there, isn't it? There's a lot of exhaustion. And then but by the way, now you got to get in there and fight Holly Holm, who's trying to kick you in the head.
Yeah.
Who's not that famous. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Whereas if she just fucking like kind of, as I say, I think putting on a mask, it takes more energy than just being who you are in that moment, accepting the emotional state that you're in and just kind of going with that. You know, some days I'm Mike Tyson, bruv. You know what I mean? I feel some days I'm not, bro. Like some days I'm a bit softer, a bit like more, but that don't ever affect how I'm gonna perform, or how you perform is not, it's not about your mind state. I guess it is to a certain degree, like confidence is very important, but have confidence in your camp. Have confidence in your team, have confidence in the fact that you trained hard. I've been in many different emotional states before competition. Well, not many, as I say, fucking 3 fights. But each one has been vastly different from the other. My first one, because I was so unaware of what I was stepping into, very calm. Like you said, like the people that meditate, I was literally sat out there fucking meditating. This was when I was going through my little Zen phase. I'm like just calm because I don't actually know what I'm getting in for. My second one, now I know what it is. I'm thinking, fuck, this guy's coming out to kill me. I'm getting fucking aggressive and ready, and I'm literally like shouting before the walkout. And then my third one, I was just very confident. I very much underestimated the guy. He was better than I thought he would be. So I'm just underestimating him. I was being like a cocky little fucker, like just fucking.
But that's the evolution, isn't it? That's the way you go through it. And sometimes I think ignorance is bliss. 100%. Like if you think you're going to fight King Kong and you're stressed, that can drain your batteries too, can't it? Whereas if you're like, you got to get the balance right. Obviously, you can't go out there like I'm fighting a 4-year-old, and then you get out there and you got Ngannou in front of you. You know what I mean? Because there's pros and cons, but it's all swings and roundabouts. I'll give you an example of like how mood in a way less stressful way, but like this morning, for example. I was running a bit late, I'm stressed, I'm going to teach grappling, right? So I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, just in a bit of a general bad mood. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm tired, whatever. This sore, blah, blah. But as soon as I turn up, there's like 4 guys that I know well that are in the class and they're waiting outside. And as soon as I jump out the car, it's, way! Like in a split second, I'm at my best again now. Like we're all high-fiving and like a great session. But it's just, I think if you tried to fight it too much, like on the way in, I was half sulking to myself anyway. Do you know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to a fight. I'm only going to teach a grappling class, right? But at the same time, if I was in there and I was going, right, I've got to think positive, but I'm more stressed by the time I show up, right? I just turned up in that mood, and then, like, you brought me out of it because you high-fived me and we're good. Now we just go. And I think there's elements of that come into play versus forcing yourself to think a certain way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a proper like, emotional fuck. Like, I will...
And that's okay, right? That's okay.
I flow, but like, I'm very... it don't take much, bro. Like, I'll... driving down the street, people are just fucking me off, bruv. I'm from the countryside, bruv. Like, I used to drive and see 5 cars on the road my whole journey, you know what I mean? Right. And I've got fuckers constantly 24/7, bruv, just doing idiot shit.
Some tough guys in cars too, aren't there?
Oh, bro.
There's some tough guys in cars, suddenly.
They're fucking, everyone's a UFC champion behind a fucking steering wheel, bruv. I'm thinking, you don't even understand how badly it will go, bruv.
You got no idea,
Yeah, like, but yeah, I'm dealing with it. And then I'll just see like a fucking squirrel or something climbing up a tree, and I think like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're jumping across trees and fucking, I'm just like, yeah, like, shit ain't so bad. So just, like you say, like little things, but then also I think a very big thing, I'm certainly not all the way there, but not letting my emotions affect my actions, detaching the two, you know. Our actions are what define us. I think intention is important, but you can have the best intentions and still do the worst. So it's our actions that define us. And so like we were talking earlier about a moral compass, if I get angry and now I'm going against my morals, my moral compass means nothing anymore. Having our moral compass and having actions, as I say, our actions define us. So actions are, to me, what shapes our character. It's not like emotions or certain traits, or it's your actions that are your character. Yeah. So allowing the emotions to exist outside of our actions and to stay the same way. Whether I'm having a bad day or a great day, I'm still gonna come home. I'm still gonna be a good boyfriend to my girlfriend. I'm still gonna be loving to her, no matter how much I'm feeling. And I think, not to go too far down the rabbit hole, although fucking we might as well, bruv. I think we've lost that in this generation, especially like...
I agree. I 100% agree.
The next one, fucking cooked, bruv. Like, actually
But
fucked.
I think it's a pendulum. It swings back and forth.
I think so, because I think there'll be a rebellion. You know, the same way the punk era
People
rose.
aren't silly. Like, do you know what I mean? People, like... it would be quite arrogant for us to think, as an older generation, the younger generation, they're going to struggle. But listen, they got brains like us too. They'll figure it out too. We had to figure it out. They'll figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Just because they're getting some information that's a bit, what you'd call it now, strange, to put it loosely, right? But people will figure things out, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Hope so. I hope so, certainly. I think we've never lived in a more confusing world than the one we do now, because there's an
too much information, right?
100%.
Information can be toxic, can't it?
100%,
bro. And like, there's a big sort of push for people to be open-minded and stuff like that. But listen, if you're too open-minded, you're just an idiot. Yeah. Because like anything you tell someone, you can't be too open-minded. You got to, take it, let it sit a bit, and make your own mind up, right?
You need to have your own beliefs.
Of course.
Like, you need to have your own way of thinking, because that is what shapes the world. If we all are just completely open-minded, we're like, oh yeah, that's all right, and that's all right, then there is no progress, there is no, conflict, despite being like a, on paper, negative word, that is what pushes people forwards. We come to 100%. Conflict and we grow from it. Discussion and debate is how we grow mentally. So if we're all just like, oh yeah, that's all right, like, we're not actually discussing anything or coming to the bottom of things. And as I say, I think we've got to a point where certain opinions aren't allowed to be held. Certain groups of people are protected. Not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, certain groups are protected, and you can't say nothing about these groups. And it then leads to a lack of discussion, and the main thing, this is where I was going to start, but now fucking tangent. But masculinity has now been demonized, and traits that are particularly, typically found in men are now like, oh no, you can't be that way, or you can't be that way. I think the school system...
It's interesting you say that though, and like, you're right to a degree, but it's like, I think a lot of that is kind of on that thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's online.
Yes.
It's not like, how often do you really run into someone that sort of has that mindset? Very rare, if ever, right?
Yeah.
Like, and different personalities is okay, right? Like people like me and you to come in here now and like, we're going to put some gloves on, we're going to have a spar. To us, that's great, right? Yeah. To some people, the same age, same gender, same everything, they can't think of anything worse, right? But like for us to sit in an office 9 to 5, which they might do, that's way harder than getting punched in the head. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think views on the world that's the part of the problem. Is like your view's not allowed. It's like, listen, hey, stay in your own lane, right? And the problem with that, I think, the stronger personality, put that as like a loose term, are the ones that they don't focus on that as much. Do you see what I mean? Whereas it's the weak folk, if you like, that make everything a problem and it's a big deal, and it doesn't need to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like protests is an example, right? If you want to stand there and protest about something, whatever that may be, fine. But it's when you start like breaking, smashing things, taking over cities, like we've seen more in America, I think, than here. We've seen it here. We have seen it, but more in America in recent years, right? And it's just like, that's when no one's going to listen to anyway, right?
Yeah.
We're not listening now because you've just, like, even if I agreed with your sentiment initially, you've made me hate you.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
It's like you've made a good point and then you spat in my face after.
There you go,
so it's
exactly.
kind of like...
Yeah, you've made me agree with you and then slap me around the back of the head.
Exactly.
Hey.
No, I just dislike you.
Yeah,
so
I dislike you, so I'm going to disagree anyway.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I certainly, like you say about the screens.
Yeah.
I think that is certainly true, and actually it's very uncommon that you meet people who are the way you see people on the screens. This is the minority, but we live here so much more than we live out here, that this then shapes people's view of the world. It's like, one example, not to get too controversial with this one, but whenever you go on here, you'll see some Indians doing some strange stuff, bruv. They're cutting fucking meat with their toes, bruv, and shit like that.
Okay.
But bro, I think that's just my algorithm.
I was going to say, I don't know what you're searching, bro.
Bro, you don't want to see.
Yeah.
You don't want to find out, bruv. But you get this view of like. There is a stereotype that India's a dirty country or whatever, but that comes from the internet.
Yep.
You know, my mum went to India. To be fair, like the dirty thing might be true, to be fair. But like other than that, you know, it is just a place with people. Yeah. To go back onto the hygiene thing, the reason that these places go viral is because they're the exception.
Right, of course.
Although, I don't know, bruv. I used a bad example with India because I seen bare man cooking at the side of the road, but I don't see no taps. I'm thinking, and they're using their hands and stuff. Like, I'm not going there anytime soon. Yeah. But, as I say, this is a small fraction of any community, you know.
But also people are different on that too. Like, 100%. For example, like, you know, you've heard the people talk about it, like a big celebrity, like people knocking him, whatever. But if they saw him in person, they'd ask for a picture, shake their hand. I'm such a big fan. Like, and I don't think it's even like being fake that much. I think that when they're online, they genuinely hate that person. But now they've seen you and they go, oh, that's someone. Like, I've got to go and see him, you know. And I think there's elements of that too. Like, it's just not real life is the biggest thing, because me and you sitting here now chatting, like, I don't do any of these. Like, I've had people ask me to do the podcast like online. I'd rather travel to them, because it's like, part of that's me. Like, I don't have the personality to sit across the screen and go, oh, hi Erasmus, like, how are you? Like, it's not me. I
get distracted, bro.
Yeah, right. But I need to be there. You're there. We just bounce off each other. Like, I sort of reject the term interview. I don't really interview. Like, I don't see this as an interview. I just see it as me and you sit here and have a chat. Yeah, that's on by chance, and we'll chat how we would have chatted anyway.
Try to forget about that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd chat to you the same if that was on or not. Do you know what I mean? And it just, like, that happens to be there, and like, hopefully people like and subscribe and watch it.
Do it.
There you go.
Or we'll violate
you. There you go. Big Erasmus going to kick you in the face. Bosh, might choke you as well.
Yeah. You know, either or.
Maybe both. Maybe kick you in the face, two choke.
I mean, if they're unconscious already, you can kind of do what you want.
Keep them there.
That's it, bro.
What do they call it? Shadow realm. That was the word I was looking
for.
Keep them in the shadow realm. But tell us about like what your plans are like in the immediate future. You've obviously got a fight coming in the immediate future.
Yeah.
But like beyond that, you said I mentioned turning pro, and you said soon.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? What's your plans?
Depends on performance.
Okay. Is it really that simple? Depends how you.
100%. Yeah. Like, I want a couple fights in the big cage because all of my fights have been in small cages so far, and I think my style is full big cages.
Well, for anyone who hasn't been in a smaller cage, I mean, you can probably if you stood like that,
bro,
your size, you're probably touching both sides.
Literally, yeah, like maybe a foot and an arm, but yeah, fucking.
Never a dull moment at GBTT.
Yeah. It's just fucking constant 24/7.
At least he kept his clothes on. I've had some people out through that slit of the door taking clothes off.
Oh, yeah.
I try and concentrate on what's going on.
That's it. GB Top Team Only fans coming soon.
There you go.
But yeah, fucking performance is the most important thing. If you're performing like a pro, go pro. I think this might be a controversial one, but I think I'm in a advantageous position because I think as the weight goes up, the skill level goes down maybe a little bit. Like as a lightweight, I think you need more fights. As a 66, so you need more fights.
And that's interesting. Not to cut you off there, but I don't think it is what you're saying in size as well, because you move different. It goes without saying, if you're 150 kilos, you can't move like someone who's 60, right? But also, I think that the two you mentioned there, like you're 66, you're 70, 77. The reality is, most men would fall in them categories. Yeah. So you've got more people that you're competing with. Yeah. If you're a guy, a grown man who fights at 57, or a grown man who fights at 120, it's not as plentiful, is it? So the skill by just sheer numbers is not going to be there.
100%. So that's an advantage that I have. Although I don't think about that too much. As I say, the main thing is performance. If I'm performing well, I want to get a couple more Amis. This one's for a belt, so we just fucking scoop that up, bruv. My jeans have been falling down. Yeah, take that quickly.
What weight's that at? Is that
84?
Middleweight.
So I'll do all my amateurs now at 84. I'm not cutting to 77 till pro.
Is that your plan at pro?
Yeah. At pro, I'll go.
6'6" welterweight. You're going to be a headache.
I'll see how it goes, bruv. But yeah, that is what I've got in mind. That once, because I know I can cut more than I'm cutting to make 84. I know that 84 is a pretty easy cut, to be honest.
Do you see yourself going up through the weights as you go on?
Yeah, as I get older, I wanna spend most of my career at 77. That's just the weight class. Really? I've always been attracted to it, man. I think the skill level is higher. You know, I think the skill level's highest at lightweight. But then, well, who's to say? I'm not going to get into that. 77 just.
How do you feel there? Do you feel good there? You feel strong there still?
Felt fucked. The only time I've done it, I felt fucked. But that's because I cut like a retard.
Right.
And I don't.
Was the weigh-in on the day off?
No, day before.
Day before, okay.
Yeah. My opponent ironically missed weight. Oof. And he was like cutting from fucking nowhere near, bruv. I cut from 90 in 2 weeks. So it was dirt.
Serious, yeah.
And I cut, no word of a lie, God is my witness, I cut by just not eating or drinking. Like, I'd eat Haribos. That's like, I'd have Haribos to just kind of like, because you can just keep your mouth occupied and like salivate. And then I'd drink rum till I passed out.
Seems like a good idea, right?
Yeah, bro, like, fucking why not? You know what I mean? Yeah, literally, bruv. Dark rum, Captain Morgan's, you know what I mean?
And you still on the rum these days? Or
Nah, clean, yeah.
Completely, you completely
teetotal. Yeah, I don't drink. As I say, I don't know if I said on here or at the beginning, but I stopped smoking at the beginning of the year as well. So yeah, alcohol's never really been a thing for me. I just did it like, kind of because of social pressure. You're going out with the boys, like, what am I going to stand there and be sober? You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
you are, mate.
Yeah,
yes, you are, because you're going to be champ and they ain't.
Yeah, trust me, bruv. Or just not go out. Like, now I just stay in my yard and I have a way better time, bro. I play Minecraft and watch anime, and that's way better than the club,
or is that too old school?
Nah, it's not too old school. I just have no fucking interest in football. FIFA. That's the least British thing about me, bro.
Gotcha. Well, you've ruined my last question, but we'll plant one for you.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Still ask it, mate. I might have an answer, but yeah.
We'll give you one anyway. We'll give you an answer if you don't.
Fighting games. Fighting games and Minecraft,
Yeah.
bro. That's how you become a good fighter.
Is that it?
100%.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Take me through Minecraft. I'm not too familiar with it. I know what it is, obviously, but like I don't really know what the game itself is. I just know the name.
Just fucking building a house with the boys, going cave-in, fucking getting whooshed by zombies, bro.
Is it a bit like Sims? Is it Sims or Sim City or whatever it used to be?
Nah, it's not like, because that you're kind of top down and like in control of what's going on. Minecraft is like first person, like you're playing as a character. Right. But it's what's called a sandbox. Like you're in control. There's no like storyline to it.
Okay.
It's not like you're led down a particular path. Every world that you spawn in is randomly generated, so it's different every time. And yeah, you just fucking mine and fucking get cool armor and then fucking kill a big dragon.
Gotcha. Sounds if you want to kill dragons, play Minecraft.
Yeah, like
gotcha.
I think I've butchered the explanation of Minecraft. There's probably some fucking...
Grand Theft Auto was big when I used to play games.
Yeah, yeah,
That's still about. That's still a good one.
Yeah.
But this is, I'm showing my age a bit here now. The last games console that I ever played was a PS2.
Yeah,
I'm out the game.
Nah,
I'm out the game.
Get back on the PS5, bro. You can join
maybe
our
we
Minecraft
do like
server.
you know they do fight companions. Maybe with me and you can do like a Minecraft companion.
Yeah,
we'll play Minecraft
yeah.
and we'll film that.
Talk
that
me
gets
through
some
it,
good
yeah.
content.
Whilst watching UFC, just fucking double it up.
We'll just go
bro.
nuts. Yeah, we'll have everything. We'll have someone in the background doing something else mad just to add to the flavour. There you go. Yeah, I was thinking fire breathing, but yeah, juggling.
That's what you need these days, bro. You see like TikTok where it'll be a clip and then also they've got like a video game clip as well.
There was one on Rogan, the Vapor. Have you seen him? The guy who's like, he's doing vape and he's just making shapes and it's got like an ungodly amount of views, like hundreds of millions of people watching this bloke just vape.
Fuck,
which is like, I mean, that speaks more to the world we live in. Doesn't it?
Trust me, bro.
But like, are you a fan of UFC? Like, because a lot of I'm surprised how many fighters don't actually watch fights.
Yeah, I watched the boys fight.
Right.
I watched my team fight. I watch fighting for like skill development. Right. I don't watch as a fan.
You mean, for you,
yeah, like I watch guys that fit my style. I watch guys that I want to learn from, and yeah, I'm not even going to say any names because then people know who I'm trying to emulate. You know, keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really watch as a fan. No, like. Yeah, I'd much rather watch WWE, to be honest, bro, or anime or something.
Really?
Yeah, bro, that's a controversial one, isn't it?
Proper, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to cause some upset. But yeah, like, I don't know. I guess, to be honest, bruv, when I'm watching a fight, it just makes me want to have a scrap.
I gotcha.
Like, I'd rather be in here training or doing something. As I say, if I'm going to watch it, it's going to be guys that I think, oh, yeah, like, I can learn something from this. Or John Jones to just watch him get hit, bro. What I do with John Jones fights is I just pause right before he wins, and I just make up in my mind that DC fucking TKO'd him.
Oh, you're not a fan of John Jones?
No, not at all.
What? Is there a reason or what?
Yeah, he's a bad human being.
Okay.
Like, I think you can be the greatest fighter in the world, bruv. If you're just a dog shit human being, and it's not for me to say. It's not for me to say, and I don't know the battles that he's going through. But I think, you know, you crash into a pregnant woman and your first thought is to check your car, grab the cash and then run. Like, I just think, yeah, there's some things you know, there's things about him being a drug cheat. I don't know about that, bro. I ain't seen him inject nothing, so I can't speak on it, bruv. But yeah, I just think this is temporary. Mm-hmm. However long your career lasts, bruv, it's temporary. Being a good human being is so much more important, bro.
Yep.
If you have to forsake your values or become some sort of monster in order to do this, bro, it's not worth it. I remember the boys the other day were asking, like, we were doing Would You Rathers. I won't discuss the other ones because they're a bit... But Marcel asked a good question.
This Marcel Dwyer.
Yeah.
Shout out Marcel. He's coming on at some point. I'm going to capture him. He's coming on.
Get him on it.
Looking swole as a motherfucker last time I saw him.
He's the young Kevin
Every time
Randleman.
I see him, he's beastly. Every time I see him, he's like an extra few kilos heavier.
And it's not for show, bruv.
No.
We did a wrestling round yesterday. I'm thinking, fucking hell, bruv. Are you sure you fight at 66?
Well, that was the conversation last time I sat next to him. Was like, I said, how much are you weighing right now? Blah, blah, whatever he said. Not for the camera, that's for him.
Yeah.
Then I said, like, what weight are you fighting at? And he kind of took a gasp of air and said 66. I was like,
yeah.
Enough.
It's a traumatic cut, bro, but he can do it.
Yeah, enough with that.
I feel bad for his opponents.
But he's
bruv.
only young, isn't he? Like, he's shockingly young.
20.
I
don't know.
21, isn't he? 21, something
Yeah, I
around
think
there.
something around that.
Unbelievable.
But he asked, would you rather achieve your dreams, meaning like UFC gold, or have a family? Everyone else is like UFC gold. Oh, yeah, dreams. Me, it's easy, bro. I'd rather have a family.
Really?
100%. Yeah.
You got any kids at the moment?
No. I've got a girlfriend who I love very much. Hi, Boo Boo.
Shout out, Boo Boo.
Yeah, if she watches this far in, she probably fucking thinks, oh.
She's switched off
Yeah,
by
this
now.
fucking idiot. Like 30 seconds in, and she's like, oh,
I have enough of him at home,
yeah,
like, watching him on there.
Oh, she definitely has enough, bruv. Me going on monologues, fucking shadow boxing in the bedroom at fucking 11. But yeah, well, 100, it's easy for me, man.
Really?
I'd much rather have a family than do... If I had to quit this sport, but for some reason, like my girlfriend would never make me pick. She's very supportive of what I do, and say I love her. Yeah, she's very, very supportive. She'd never be like, oh wow, you gotta. She knows that when I'm here, you know, it gets hard sometimes, especially when you're in camp and you're training in the evenings, and we're not seeing each other till 9 p.m. at night, and then you go home and you go to bed straight away. But she knows and she's supportive. But if there was ever a time when I had to choose, I'm choosing her 100%. Yeah. I used to, if you had asked me when I was younger, if you, oh yeah, I'll God forsake anything for this sport. I'm willing to bleed and die in that cage. No, I'm not. I'm not willing to die for it, bro.
But that moves too, I think, in terms of like what we said earlier about mood. Like now sitting here, you're not willing to die for it. It's
nah,
just a fight.
yeah.
But in that, when you're in there, we've all been in that moment where the bell rings and you go, I'm here till the end.
Yeah.
This moment, not that you mean it, but do you know what I'm saying?
Like if you ask me when I'm in the cage, bro, I'm just gonna foam from the mouth and stare at you, bro.
That's what I'm getting at.
100%. But like,
there's more important things, isn't it?
Yeah, like me, before it was 24/7, bro. I'm 24/7, like MMA's all I care about. But now I realise that, as I say, life goes on. Life is so much more important. The thing that I respect about my coaches, Brad, Ash, is not only that they've had a great MMA career, but then they've also gone on to be like good functioning members of society, bro. They're coaching here, they're taking care of their family, they've got kids, they've got a wife. You know what I mean? Like I think that is so much more important, because as I say, this only lasts so long, and yeah, you can make millions and you can be fucking with the ring girls, but then you go home, you got your UFC belt and you cry yourself to sleep. Like fucking...
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
who needs it, bruv? Like, I'd much rather come home. I'd much rather be, you know, it's such a like taboo term, but a journeyman that goes home to a loving wife and kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's fucking way better, bruv. And
but to be honest with you, I think that kind of mindset that you're speaking of is probably what leads you to the other end of that. That's what makes you successful, because it's in perspective, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's easy to be like 19, 20, and all you want to do is fight and whatever. But I don't want to sound like you necessarily get smarter as you get older, but you certainly see the world different, right? And
you get more experience,
more wisdom, more whatever you'd want to call it. And like, I think it's easier to put things into like what's important, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Fighting, like you said, it's finite, isn't it? You're not going to do it when you're 70.
Yeah. But I will have my wife, hopefully.
There you go.
God willing.
There you go.
And yeah, like, and now I'm not just fighting for myself. Mm-hmm. I never was. Like, I've always wanted to take care of my parents. I'm my only child, bruv. So, you know, like, it's my choice whether they end up in a fucking care home or not. You know what I mean? And I certainly don't want that, bruv.
I thought I was going on a different path. I thought I was going to make enough money to put them in a care home.
Oh, yeah. Fuck off.
I was going to say, what? You just lost me.
Nah, none of that, bruv. I'm have a big fucking bit of land, bro. They're gonna have their own house. My parents are split up, so we'll maybe keep the houses
separate
quite
ends.
far apart.
We have to have a big garden.
Fucking throwing bricks out the window.
Get that big garden on that estate.
Yeah. Need a lot of land, bruv, to keep them real far away. Couple acres, bruv.
Maybe land in different countries.
Oh, definitely, bro. Like, I love this. I don't love this country. That would be a lie. But I am very proud to be British.
Okay.
That's like coming from. So my dad's side of the family is Jamaican. My mum's side of the family is Irish. So it was very hard growing up and through my teen years to like find a national identity. You know what I mean? Like I was always very aware that I weren't British. but I am British. I was born here. British is not about the colour of your skin or your grandparents. It's about being here and embracing the culture. And, well, people say we don't have culture anymore, but I think that's a bit... I think that's untrue, bruv. But yeah, like, I'm very proud to be British. I'm very proud, especially, to have that flag on my back. And yeah, like... whether I like it or not, it's who I am. You know what I mean? I was born in this country. I used to say, no, I'm not British. I'm Jamaican, or I'm half Jamaican, half Irish. It's like, no, like, I was born in this country. I was born in Bedford Hospital. Shout out to Bedfordshire, massive. Yeah, man. Like, and as I say, I'm very proud to be British. I think fucking people bang on about, oh well, fucking colonised after. Well, yeah, fucking so what? No one's having to go to Mongolia because Genghis Khan existed, bruv. You know what I mean?
And it ain't our fault. We weren't there.
Yeah, bro, I went out.
What's that got to do with me? What did I do for that?
Literally. Like,
and to be fair, we're all a product of whatever came before.
Yeah.
Right? In the whole, not to get too philosophical, but in the whole universe, every single thing that happened exactly as it did led us to sitting at this desk right now.
100%, bruv. 100%. Like, you know, my Jamaican side of the family, fucking, if you go far enough back, they were slaves. Mm. Fucking, right, this peak to say, but it's not really my problem, bruv. Like, it's not, I don't say that as in, like, you know.
Certainly not your fault, anyway.
Yeah. Well,
no one's our fault.
Do you know
what I mean? It's not anyone's fault now, is it?
100%. And also, it's almost disrespectful to take their suffering and then fucking, like, make it mine and cry about it and say, oh, reparations. Fucking just go get a job, bruv.
It's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah, like, it was not my suffering. Mm-hmm. It's not for me to gain from it, bruv. Yeah. You know, fucking hell, like, I can imagine that slavery it probably weren't, like, great to be a slave. You know what I mean?
Probably not, no.
Yeah, like...
don't think it was a fun time.
Not having a whale of a time, are they? So, fucking, for me to then take that and live in a country, in a first world country... I would say booming economy, but fucking, I saw a pack of Revels in Tesco's the other day and it cost £3.60.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's not exactly fucking booming, is it? But an okay economy and a very comfortable standard of living, and then go on, wow, like...
Poor me.
Yeah, my ancestors were slaves, so like, my life's harder for some reason, even though I'm living in the same fucking conditions as everybody else. But yeah... Bare tangents again.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Britain, you know, I'm proud to be British. I'm proud to represent this country. I'm proud to represent GB Top Team, as I keep saying. Yeah, fucking hell. Don't even know where I started with that one.
I think that's a great place to finish, man. Because I tell you why I say finish is because every now and then you get someone come on this podcast where you go like,
we could be here all day.
To be honest. Everyone, and I'll say that honestly, there's no one I've had on this podcast yet that I dislike. Certain people I disagree with, and we've had different views and whatever, but I can honestly say I haven't had anyone yet, and I'd say it, like people that watch this know I'm honest, I'd say it, that I dislike. There's not a single person, but there's several people I've had on here that I'd definitely go, you got to come back on, and you're in that category for sure.
Yeah,
so
come on,
that's the time, my mate, and hopefully we get some training in at some point as well.
Yes,
we get on the mats together. Hopefully I'll be at your fight as well if we can get some tickets sorted.
Lovely.
We get there.
Love
but
to have you
as
there.
I said to you before, mate, the most important question, I don't think you're going to have an answer, but we'll give you one. Which football team do you support?
Oh no, I actually do have an answer for that one. It's a bit of an embarrassing one, to be fair. You know what? I might as well just start saying Luton Town, bruv.
All right, I can start with Luton.
That was always my second team, but I am a Man United fan.
We'll say Luton. We'll stick with Luton.
Yeah,
we go there. Correct answer is Chelsea. Remember it for next time.
It's crazy that now Man United is like a more embarrassing answer than Luton Town.
Well, do you know what? It's funny because for your age, not that I'm much older than you, but like when I was growing up, that team, I won't even say their name.
Yeah.
They used to win everything, right?
We were proper terrors,
everything.
Bruv.
But like, how old were you the last time United won the league? What year was you born?
Don't want to think about it. 98.
98. So you would have been, right, you know, you would have been up.
Yeah,
15, 14,
I grew
15.
through I lived through the Ferdinand era.
Right. So you would have seen. Yeah, you'd have seen. But when Ferguson went, they fell off, didn't they?
Yeah.
To think that they ain't won the league
Alex,
now for 12 seasons.
Back.
Yeah, I think it's 12 seasons since they've won the league, isn't it? Not that I'm counting, but
ticking down the days. Man United are still fucking drowning.
I'm not counting that one either. But
what team do you support?
Chelsea.
That's not much better, though.
How
is
dare
it?
you? Wash your mouth out. Bang your head on the wall and leave.
That's not much better. That's not much better at all. I feel better now, to be honest, bro.
Champions League this season, bro.
At least you're not a
Champions
Liverpool
League.
fan.
At least you're not a Liverpool fan. I was going to say that
Yeah,
there's several wrong answers, but that's the wrong answer.
Yeah,
You
like
come
no
in here
one
with
likes a Liverpool fan, bro.
Don't bother, you're all right.
Yeah, like Everton,
But
you're
mate,
all right.
As I say, this has been brilliant. We'll
Yeah.
definitely do this again if you're up for it.
100%. I think we were supposed to close at 1. Oh, 10 past.
10
We're doing
past,
all
not
right,
bad.
mate.
Not bad.
Let's hope everyone's
But as I
fucked
say,
off.
this is definitely one I could speak to you all day. So
Come on, let's do it again then,
I
brother.
always finish with a fist up like this, mate. Squeeze the neck. Boom!
Ah!